Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a public hearing on an amendment to the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission's FY19 to 24 Capital Improvements Program for the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority property acquisition. It includes the transfer of a Montgomery County GO bond appropriation from legacy open space to acquisition, non-local parks in the amount of $6.8 million, and a special appropriation to the MNCPPC Department of Parks FY20 capital budget for acquisition, non-local parks in the amount of $1,960,000. A FIT committee work session is tentatively scheduled for Monday, December 2nd, and persons wishing to submit additional material for the council's consideration should do so before the close of business today so that your views can be included in the material which staff will prepare for the committee's consideration. For this public hearing, we have two speakers. We have Mr. Madalino representing the county executive, as well as Casey Anderson from Montgomery County Planning Board. There you are. Mr. Madalino.
Thank you very much, Madam President, members of the council. For the record, my name is Rich Madalino, and I'm the director of the county's Office of Management and Budget. And I'm here today to testify on behalf of the county executive about this supplemental amendment request. So we wanted to raise two issues for you today. One is the county executive is very excited about the opportunity for us to acquire this parcel and to have it be developed for use as a park. He's also very excited and has been engaged with Mr. Anderson and the Montgomery Housing Partnership about the possibility of doing a land swap. So he's interested in it. However, we still have to see how the economics of the project work. I think you will hear from Mr. Anderson. The commission is very excited about having property for a park and that they would gladly use this facility as this property for a park if that's all it comes to. But the land swap and having the park be situated closer into the community off of Amherst is very exciting. So we want to move forward with it. We don't want to leave you with the impression that's a done deal because we still have to work through the dollars and how all of this would happen. The second point that we want to make to you is right now the executive is in the process of preparing the CIP for introduction on January 15th. We still don't have some of the revenue estimates that are critical, like on the recordation tax, the impact taxes, all of those numbers. So we still don't know what FY21 and beyond will look like. So we're just very concerned about the money coming out of the $1.96 million coming out of the set aside. And right now our thinking is, in essence, we would be borrowing this money from the allocation that parks would have for FY21. So it would still come out of the Parks Department, and then as we move forward in the conversation over the budget for the parks for the CIP, we will have a conversation about how much flexibility we have to either put that money back in for FY21 or have it come out of part of their allocation for FY21. So with that, thank you, Madam President, members of the council, and we hope you pass the supplemental appropriation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Madalino. Mr. Anderson.
Thank you. We have been working for the last 5 years to try to shift the direction of the Parks Department towards more urban type of park system, one that emphasizes more social engagement, physical activity. We recognize the park system has done some things exceptionally well over the years, and we're proud of the fact that we won the National Recreation Park Association gold medal for best park system in the country, a record 6 times. But we, even though we believe we're the best, we think the best is not good enough. And we also recognize that even if you're the best, there are some things that you can do better. And in particular, urban acquisitions and development and programming of urban parks is something that honestly this Parks Department has not emphasized in the past. So this, along with the Capitol Crescent Civic Green and some other projects in Bethesda, some other projects that we have moved forward over the last few years, represents a huge step forward in making good on that commitment to do urban parks much better and take that idea much more seriously. So this is a great acquisition, It will allow us to develop a substantial sized park right on the edge of the Wheaton Central Business District in a way that I think will tie in very well with the AVA that was built just to the south of there, the multifamily project, the new library and rec center, which is absolutely fantastic, our building, the Exchange project with the Safeway. All these things are really creating a lot of positive momentum for Wheaton, and physically this park, I think, will literally and figuratively be in line with that movement of Wheaton in the direction of really being a great urban place. And so we appreciate the county executive support. I think we can argue later about what our capital budget allocation should be when we get into next year's budget cycle. But for right now, we will take yes for an answer and appreciate that. As far as the MHP part is concerned, as Mr. Madaleno said, this transaction, its value, its appeal does not depend on the MHP swap. If we built the park on the parcel that WMATA currently owns that we're acquiring abutting Georgia Avenue, that would be very good. It would be even better if we could swap and have the park be a little bit off of the main Georgia Avenue frontage, and which would be a better place for the MHP to develop their property. But either way, we think this would be a really exciting acquisition and a huge step forward for Wheaton, the East County, and I should add also an emphasis on equity in the way that park acquisition resources are allocated. Thank you.
Thank you. I definitely look forward to the Fed committee session because as a district council member, it's not completely clear to me exactly how we're moving forward. So I hope that things get clarified a little bit more during the Fed committee session on December 2nd. Councilmember Reamer.
Thank you. I know we will take it up, but just generally, Director Madaleno, county executive supports the purchase of the site, however, wants it to be affordable within the approved CIP. I don't know if I understand, are there other resources that are available? Like, make it simple for me. Are you saying that that when we get to how to pay for it, we should look at other options?
If you just take it out of the set aside this year,
Yeah.
that in essence, we will backfill it next year by making an equal reduction in their 21 allocation. So that it would then allow the 1.9 million to go to other initiatives, for example, the schools, as you know, has a significant request in for next year,
Okay.
repaving roads, a variety of critical needs that will be coming out of the next year's CIP. So before we just jump in and say, sure, it can all be spent out of this year because it's a unique opportunity, it might need to be, their allocation for FY21 might need to be rebalanced to reflect the extra money they're getting in 20.
All right, we'll take it up in a second. Thank you.
Was that clear? I hope I
More or
tried
less.
to, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, our next public hearing, item 7, it's a public hearing on a supplemental appropriation to the county's government FY20 operating budget for the Department of Housing and Community Affairs in the amount of $4 million for Home Investment Partnership Home Program. And the source for this is a federal grant home program, and our Fed committee recommends approval. We did not have any speakers listed. Do we have speakers?
No, Director Nagam is here in case there are questions, since it's an action item.
Perfect. All right, so there are no speakers, but there's a Fed committee recommendation, Councilmember Reamer. Oh, wait, so the public hearing is closed. Let me turn it now over
Okay.
to Councilmember Reamer.
Thank you. We took this up at the Fed committee a little advance of the public hearing, anticipating that maybe there wouldn't be anyone here for the public hearing, and that we could move forward very quickly. But this is funding that has been repaid to the county from earlier allocations of federal funding. And so this is not a This isn't using resources that were otherwise available or reallocating from any other priorities. This is the repayment of earlier investments from federal funding.
That is correct. Asim Degam, Director, GSCA.
Terrific. So
Great.
it's a great program, and the committee recommends approval.
Wonderful. All right, so we have a committee recommendation. All those in favor, please raise your hand. It's unanimous. And
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm going to borrow here. And with that, I see that our next item is to be adjourned. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody.